Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got our first look at NHL 22's gameplay with the gameplay reveal trailer. Now just like last week, we're going to break it down frame by frame and go over all of the big changes and new things that are being implemented in NHL 22. Now guys, before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel for the most up-to-date NHL 22 content. Now just to make sure that everyone is on the same page, guys, I'm going to show the trailer in its entirety, and then afterwards we're going to get into it. So skip ahead to about the 5-minute mark if you've already seen the trailer. All right, let's get into it, guys.
Welcome to NHL 22, the first NHL game built on the Frostbite engine and powered by next-generation consoles PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. With the introduction of Superstar X Factors, the Frostbite engine, augmented reality UI, enhanced stick physics, and much more, the NHL franchise is delivering not only the best gameplay, but the best-looking game to date. This is breakthrough hockey.
For the first time ever, the Frostbite engine comes to the NHL franchise, bringing massive aesthetic upgrades to both current and next-generation consoles. With breakthrough visual detail in every hit, deep, and shot, improvements can be found on a macro and micro level, including atmospherics such as flares and snow. We've upgraded facial animations and likeness, even so far as to enhance the detail in eye movement and facial expressions that react to the changing environment and events around them. On top of that, detailed enhancements on both player models and game environments have been ramped up, giving both unique character and authenticity. This also includes micro details on uniforms, higher resolution ice, and 3D ice spray that interacts with the environment and can even spray on the camera during replays. Lastly, the physically based dynamic lighting system powered by the Frostbite engine unifies all elements within the game. Now, materials like cloth, visors, and helmets react realistically to light. Metal shines like metal. Glass reflects the game in real time, and ice glitters depending on the amount of stress caused by the action on the ice. With all these upgrades, NHL 22 makes every rink look and feel like the real deal, including a certain arena that will be hosting its first ever NHL contest this upcoming season.
Superstar X Factors is a game-changing gameplay advancement, inspired by the unique characteristics of the NHL's best talent that allows you to unleash signature player abilities and elevate the stars of the sport like never before. It's always been a goal of ours to differentiate star players from the rest of the league, and with the arrival of X Factors, you'll feel the special traits of each superstar through specialized gameplay mechanics and visual differentiation. We divided X Factors into 6 categories: shooting, skating, passing, hockey IQ, defense, and goaltending. The game features 29 different Superstar X Factor abilities assigned to players in 2 tiers: Premier Zone abilities and Secondary Superstar abilities. So whether it's Matthews' patent toe drag wrister, Seth Jones' uncanny ability to intercept pucks, or Vasilevsky's acrobatic robberies, you'll be able to recreate the league's most iconic abilities and use them to gain an edge over your opponent.
Makes a move in front. He scores!
Superstar X Factors span all positions and game modes, bringing a new layer of class-based strategy, differentiation, and authenticity.
Oh, what a hit! Those are the ones you feel in the morning.
Speaking of authenticity, we are now doing more with the stick physics to realistically simulate stick-on-stick and stick-on-body collisions. The end results are more accurately represented puck battles on both offense and defense. For instance, attacking players are now able to protect against a defender's stick and drive to the net with force. More outcomes are dictated by proper body positioning, which decides whether stick interactions get driven through or lead to penalty calls.
Our new augmented reality broadcast system animates on top of the action in real time throughout the game, including when one of your special abilities are performed to give you an understanding of its impact. When an exceptional highlight reel moment occurs, 3D graphics will appear over your player, letting you peacock against your opponent that much more. Also, the system injects information instantaneously to the game, helping you manage your strategy in real time without having to exit the game. These augmented, hyper-real moments elevate the broadcast quality, giving a modern, sleek look to gameplay, all while improving game flow speed, up to as much as 50%.
From visual improvements, play innovation, we set out to give NHL 22 a new look and feel for the new generation. The Frostbite engine, Superstar X Factors, and augmented reality graphics are set to deliver the greatest leap forward that the franchise has ever seen. This is breakthrough hockey. This is NHL 22.
All right, so there is a lot to unpack here. The new visuals in game, the new augmented reality broadcast. Most specifically, I want to talk about the new stick physics as they broke it down and showed you exactly what that means. Because, in all honesty, from someone who has played the game pretty much every day for the last 5 years, this single change to make the stick an individual layer in the game is going to impact it quite a bit, and I'll explain why. But let me know down in the comment section, guys, as to what you're most excited to see in the NHL 22 gameplay. Alright guys, so let's get into the breakdown of the gameplay trailer. We'll start at the top. Alright, so we get our first look at augmented reality UI and what that means going into NHL 22, and you'll see the broadcast package changes significantly when Stamkos and Jones are on the ice for one of the defensive zone draws. You'll see that it highlights Stamkos and Jones with their X Factor ability, 1T for Stamkos. So now we know another X Factor player with Steven Stamkos, and he has the 1T X Factor, which is something that we hadn't seen yet. And it also shows the goals, assists, and points. Now, I would love to know if in Hockey Ultimate Team it shows their stats. That would be huge for Hockey Ultimate Team, but I really like just the look of it. I think, again, visually, Frostbite, we knew that that was going to be a significant improvement, but I really like just the new look of it. It makes it feel really modern, and I like the fact that it highlights players and certain ones, especially if it's in Hockey Ultimate Team. I think that would go a long way to make that broadcast a little bit better. So I talked about this in my prior videos about NHL 22. The animations and the graphics that Frostbite allows NHL 22 to kind of highlight is just phenomenal. And you'll see here they highlight it again with the facial expressions and just how it's going to look in game, and as well with the new arenas. It's just a really, really nice feel, and I think that's something that we forget when we talk about a generation jump in NHL. Graphics are always just mind-blowing that first year, and nothing's really changed here. The graphics for NHL 22 look phenomenal, and I'm excited to take a look at that in detail once, in franchise mode or Be a Pro, even ESHL and HUT. I think that you're going to see graphics just go a really long way. Obviously, it's one of the biggest improvements this year. And right here, we get our first look at the Seattle Kraken in action with Climate Pledge Arena and the jerseys. They look phenomenal. And we've got another X Factor confirmed. Obviously, Connor McDavid was going to have one, and it was just a matter of what one is it going to be. And it's called Wheels, which is obviously terrifying if he's got an X Factor that has anything to do with skating, because he's already the fastest player in the world. And it is confirmed right here that Connor McDavid will have a new synergy called Wheels. So just after that, they show Artemi Panarin, and they discuss superstar abilities. So there's a zone ability, which is the big one. So Austin Matthews has Shock and Awe, Connor McDavid has Wheels, and then each of them have superstar abilities as well. They're just not as highlighted within that player. So Austin Matthews could have Wheels. It just has a secondary ability called their superstar ability. It looks like silver on the screen. It's just not as prominent. And we've got some here that are confirmed. You see Third Eye. This increased pass assist with advanced ability to auto saucer out of a player's field of vision. That's right here. It's just showing, it looks like Artemi Panarin has that ability. So it looks like that's another zone ability that obviously other players will have. There will be other players that actually have this ability as their main one. So increased pass assist with advanced ability to auto saucer out of a player's field of vision. Big implementation here. Pass assist, guys, for anyone that doesn't know, they're just not aware of what pass assist actually does. It doesn't impact the actual pass itself. What pass assist improves, if you go from 0 to 99 or 100, let's say you're at 100, it increases the circle or the range that a player that is receiving the puck can actually pick it up. So the higher, you want to have the highest pass assist possible, and Third Eye looks like it increases it even more. It also provides them with an advanced ability to auto saucer out of a player's field of vision. That means that I believe, like I said in the prior videos, I think auto saucer is out of the game for players that don't have the Third Eye ability or other other superstar abilities that have that impact. So that's a obviously great improvement from the game that just highlights the better passers. So I'm all for that. We also got another one called Snipe. Outstanding skill to settle pucks with advanced wrist shot accuracy off of settled pucks. I knew that there was going to be some that were super situational. This one kind of sounds like that. I would have to see some specifics when it comes to, how often you're actually going to have that come up in game. So the ability to settle pucks with advanced wrist shot accuracy off of settled pucks. I just don't know how often that would come up, but again, that's just another one. There is a lot of X factors that are in the game now. And then the next one shown in this graphic is 1T. We saw that Steven Stamkos has the 1T ability, and this one is advanced power and accuracy on one-timers, increased ability to one-timers from less than ideal passes. These are going to be one of the biggest players in the game. Anyone that's got the 1T zone ability, the big one, not even just the silver superstar ability, but the actual zone ability. So again, Steven Stamkos seems to be the only one that's confirmed with it so far. Those are going to be really potent, especially in Hockey Ultimate Team early on, and as they should be. So Steven Stamkos, he's got an absolute missile one-timer. You're going to want to get those guys because, again, one-timers are still the most prominent way to score really in hockey. So, again, that's another confirmed zone ability. We get another look here of Artemi Panarin's zone ability, the Make It Snappy one. Exceptional power and accuracy when taking snapshots while skating. I mentioned this in my X Factor updated video from last week. This one scares me probably the most until we get to see what Wheels does. Make It Snappy, again, it just, to make a snapshot, guys, if you don't know, you basically just flick up on the right stick. So anyone with an elite shot and, with this zone ability kind of scares me that early on, while goaltender attributes, specifically in Hockey Ultimate Team, aren't really that high as they progress up, this one could be pretty devastating, and it means that you're going to have to play anyone with this zone ability extremely tight. And the one thing I will say, while this might be overpowered, it's yet to be seen, the one thing I will say is that it changes the way you play the game, and I'm all for that, because it won't just be, the one-timers, the cross creases, and things like that. You're going to have to, specific players, you're going to have to defend a specific way, and I'm all for that. And you'll see right here, it shows off Artemi Panarin's Make It Snappy zone ability as he fires one off the rush, and again, that's a little scary. So we get a look here at all the different types of X factors that'll be in the game: shooting, skating, passing, hockey IQ, defense, and goaltending. So it looks like there's going to be a big mix of performance and zone abilities that happen in NHL 22. Then it goes through a big list of zone abilities, so I just want to go frame by frame here and break it all down. So these are all of the other ones that are not confirmed yet. So the first one up is Crease Crasher. Then it shows one called YOINK. I'm assuming that has something to do with stick lifts or the ability to steal a puck. Then we've got Send It. Again, that's probably going to be involved in passing and increasing that. Then we've got Quick Pick. We've already seen that. That really heightens the ability to intercept passes. Seth Jones has this ability. Then we've got Beauty Backhand. So it looks like an improved backhander. That will be another one. One called It's Tricky. I'm assuming that, again, is all based on deking. Patrick Kane would come to mind when seeing this one. Third Eye, we mentioned earlier what that does. It really increases passing and the ability to auto-saucer. And then we get another look here at, again, how these abilities are going to work. So Austin Matthews, we saw in the prior trailer that he's got the Shock and Awe zone ability, which is elite shooting out of dekes. But then he's also got a bunch of superstar abilities down below. Make It Snappy, which says great snapshot in stride. Again, that one's scary to me. Seeing Eye, great shot through screens. Now, honestly, I'm kind of excited, and I would love to see a defenseman with that zone ability, because I think that would be a really, really cool, just, again, you have to play defense a certain way against players with that, so obviously a defenseman with Seeing High would be great for point shots. Third Eye is a great peripheral passer. We saw that one. Tape to Tape, Leon Draisaitl has this one. It says great passing within vision. And then Puck on a String, great stick handling. That could be a Patty Kane one, to be honest with you. So these are all minor abilities that Austin Matthews has. He doesn't have all of these big, crazy abilities. These are a little bit more minor that he has. The big one that he's got is the zone ability, which is Shock and Awe. So all the players that have, not just, there will be players that will not just have these zone abilities. There will be players that aren't the elite, elite among the elite, that will just have superstar abilities. Again, it goes through a little list here, and I just want to frame by frame stop it, so because we get another look at yet another superstar ability. Seeing Eye, advanced accuracy on shots when the goalie is screened. A screen goalie's reaction time is also reduced when shooting with this ability. Yeah, 100%. If you have a defenseman with this ability, that is going to be a significant advantage, especially early on in the game. All right, guys, so this is the first big change in gameplay in NHL 22. Last year, obviously it was a meme. Cross creases, as they always are, but in NHL 21 specifically, were just a mess. Basically, you could just blind pass through and they would just go into the net, basically, even if you had, especially if you had a manually controlled defenseman. Watch Seth Jones here. He's got the quick pick ability, and it's not the fact that he intercepts the pass, it's how it is intercepted. Again, with how the stick is now a different layer than the player, there's a lot more interaction with the puck, and just watch what happens here. It goes off his skate and then off his stick, and then it gets, yeah, look at that. Okay, I'm all for that, because again, that significantly impacts gameplay, and if you've got a player that has those big zone abilities, specifically like Seth Jones, it just adds huge value to them, especially in your own zone. We'll stop it right here, as it does look like we've got another confirmed X Factor in Jacob Slavin, as he absolutely crushes Gallagher here. Runs him right over. Nice body check animation, but I just wanted to stop it there because it does look like Slavin has one. I don't think we've seen it yet in the trailer, though. All right, so I've been talking about this for a while now, how the enhanced stick physics actually work and how it is going to change the game. In the past few years, when we got the defensive skill stick back in NHL 18, I believe, that drastically changed how you play the game. This is going to impact the game and just the realistic feel more than pretty much anything else that they've added in a long time. And I'll explain why in a second here. This first clip pretty much shows it exactly. Now, what would happen normally, guys, in prior NHL games, because the stick and player is all one layer, okay, you would see a stick go through a body, right? Or it wouldn't pay attention to what the stick is actually bumping into, and it would obviously, A, not look very good, but also the ability to intercept passes, it would just kind of ignore the fact that there's actually a player's, shin pad or leg in the way. Watch what happens here when the stick is its own separate layer in NHL 22. Like, it actually bounces off because there's no real way for that player to actually go after the puck with how it's being protected. There's, if there is one thing to be excited about NHL 22's gameplay, that is it. That is a big change for just the ability to hold on to the puck, and, protecting the puck is going to be that much more important in NHL 22 because it's going to be a lot more difficult and a lot more realistic when it comes to stealing it. Here's another great example of how the stick physics will work. Again, my man Timo Meier from the San Jose Sharks breaks in here on a partial breakaway. Watch Zaitsev, as he doesn't have great body positioning. He tries to use his stick, and in NHL 21, if you hit R1, you're probably going to poke this away. Watch what happens with Zaitsev's stick when it runs into Meier. It goes way off to the left because the stick hits his skate, and it's a separate layer in the game, and it flies off. That's just a phenomenal change, something I'm really excited for. You get another great look at it right here. So we get our first example of how it's going to work in terms of penalties. Watch Trouba. He makes a bad pocheck here, and it hits Stamkos' skate, and again, just knocks him off the puck. So again, these stick physics, they are drastically going to improve the game, at least from this aspect alone. So now we get our first look again at the augmented reality gameplay. And again, it'll show you the X factors that are on the ice, but it isn't super distracting. You'll see the new goal animation and the info that comes up on top of it. And again, I think this is a nice fresh change, okay? It's nothing drastic, but again, I think that, it's just not anything crazy in there. You see Stamkos with that 1T or that 1T X factor, and again, you'll see the stuff that shows up on the boards and things like that. I think that's cool. It's modern. I like the change. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it does make the game look a lot more fresh. And again, with the graphics that Frostbite allows, it's just a really, really nice change in terms of what we've got over the last few years, where it's been kind of stale after they implemented it in NHL 20, I believe. You gotta be quick, but we did get another confirmed X Factor player in Mikko Rantanen. He will have the tape-to-tape zone ability. So guys, that was the gameplay trailer in its entirety. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. There was a lot of things to unpack there. I think specifically the things to be excited about are the stick physics. I think in terms of gameplay, that's really going to impact the game more than we've seen in quite some time. And it might not be noticeable early on, but you will when you go to steal the puck and the stick no longer just goes through everybody. Same with puck intercepts, guys. That was a huge issue in NHL 21, and you saw in that Seth Jones gameplay clip where he actually moved his stick to actually intercept the puck, and that just didn't happen. Now that that's been increased, and again, with those specific zone abilities, I'm excited to see how that impacts gameplay. It should be for a positive, but we'll have to wait and find out in the beta. Guys, again, let me know what you think, and give the video a like if you did enjoy the comment. Subscribe for the most up-to-date NHL content. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.